Yeah, I think, as I recall, I think it's just the fourth floor they want to wait. Yeah, you get all the fourth floor out. They just don't want us starting any earlier than that. Yeah, they don't feel like they don't want to make us feel like whoever else is going to be.
I have an extension cord and a power strip. It's needed anywhere.
I'll let you know. I'm about to need it back.
You need power strip.
Okay. I'm going to put some on the corner because people find it running out of power.
Someone got Watson once. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, I think so. Five or six, we got
There's some RPG.
Yeah.
So, if I wanted to each one of these ones,
that's just
they're going to go up there on the fourth floor and then there was something.
Yeah, it's the fourth floor. That's just a that's also, I'm we still have part of that.
You can get it somewhere.
I have a question about migration that's 2 weeks away. I think questions that are convention is a week away.
It's the dice for right in my game.
I don't need them. We're rolling our Friday game has this weird thing where everyone's first when we roll three. We roll an unnatural amount of Oh, I do that on Yeah, that's what happens on Thursday. Yeah. It's so weird because on Thursday, I'll watch this like one point, another point. That's Thursday. So, and they got 4 ones in a row. And we were calculating, like, what time do you get it? I have to calculate
Around 3:30 to 4 p.m. on Thursday.
Okay, so you'll be there Thursday night.
Yeah.
It's just that you have parties planned on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
I request being able to get into the fermented party.
There you go. But then again, I pretty much do this all from stuff.
Well, the first thing looks like eggs, and then pie, and then tea, and then I'm like, what? Yes, I got a new little Actually, run faster. True. I thought they actually forced it. I heard 5 different subject agreements. Right, because I know this last year on the property, I figured.
It might not be.
This is not, this is their 7th last year on their property in the last 20 years.
And then they had a ton of property.
So I mean, this is like, you know, Kirk is neighbor, he's about to kill him, nothing can say. Oh, come on, we'll see him. This is a pretty common thing. He's the owner's a good drum. But so I don't know what's going to happen with this, or where. I don't think that, frankly, I don't think the site's going to do this.
That's a scary thing.
Because he's been clear, he expects all road improvements and signage and security. Provide site
Right.
because Scott County was dumb enough.
Setting a precedent. Yeah, that's what it sucks. Even if it is all in someone's head. The feedback from our people is good so far. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah, doing well. First about it. Still kind of figuring out what.
That's a tough one. I want to hear no, this one time. On this one, I take it back. I really do. All my arguments.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much angry right now, even without my eyes open. I could light a cigarette off here. I'm so sorry. Dehydrated, sort of bottle of skin lotion over there.
But he's no longer in the Iron Age, so
Always. I have dear friends on their age. I'm up there. I like what he's one of those.
yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Right.
I have taken the drink. Thursday night in January, when everyone just went up to their ski.
I do think, I mean, I can see what it is, so you're good enough with drawing for me to see that.
I mean, most of it was like kind of based on the two pictures that I took. And then the rest was like from memory. And there is a color code to the doors. I believe. Green, I thought, I have no idea about this door if it was RFID or not.
Oh, you're trying to see that.
Yeah. Red is RFID, and then right on the second floor, I dotted that out. And this is totally not on scale, because that right there.
We have never done that.
So like right there, I forgot to write it down. But this right here is
Now.
And then this dash line right there is that key code.
There's plenty of time.
Yeah, I still need to do some stuff which I'll pull up my iPad later.
Oh, you haven't seen yet, but our pickup for this group is
You understand I can't read anything.
yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna make it better.
I suppose that will happen to you. So we're up to 70.
Yeah, that's last year.
I saw that leave last in the cancellation.
The only numbers that
How many furries do you put in a hotel? One, well, some more than others. Yeah. Alcohol also plays sometimes a large role. I can actually read this guy for sure. Usually,
I know. You gotta prepare yourself for that.
The red is what's wrong. The blue.
oh yeah. Hey people, before we start today,
Hey everybody!
yes, before we start today, we're going to be taking a couple pictures of the group. This is used for promotional and also for getting staff into our group and to prove that there's more than 5 people that go to our meetings. If you do not want to be in this picture, go in the back area. You don't have to be in this picture. This is the reason why I'm saying, if you don't want to be in it, go right ahead and be in the back.
Likewise, also in the group one, I will be taking a couple just pictures throughout the meeting as well. If you do not want to be in the ones that are chosen for anything, talk to this man here.
Well, we know which ones because we went out already. Okay. It's
So,
obvious.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be, can I like grab a blanket over my face? You could, that would work too if you cover your face and everything else, or put makeup on, which would probably be more appropriate. So, thank you for everybody that is willing to participate on this, but at the same time, it's more, this is, get us to have a couple pictures of this type of thing, even though it's completely boring.
eat first, and we'll try to throw paper into your mouth. Is that cool right now?
Well, we need to start
I don't have a turtleneck sweater,
Hey,
okay?
hey, Splash Mountain face.
Which one of that is?
When are you going down the hill?
I don't have the orgasmic face right now.
Okay, let's come on. What? What, you don't have a specific pose for Space Mountain photo cats?
Well, Space Mountain is like, or, oh, my back!
That's only scene number 6.
No, that's, oh yeah, that is Space Mountain. Or, no, that's the rock and coaster ride at MGM. Rock and roller coaster.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're still calling it MGM. When was the last time you went?
3 years ago. No, it hasn't been that name for years. You are dead to me. Cool. Well, I'd like to thank everyone because it's now. So Eric and Breakout, we are going to have a 30-minute lecture on the history of the Hollywood studios. You're lucky, we only have 30 minutes for the breakout. We'll keep the short version of this. Okay, good enough? Yeah, we can send them in. I'll just.
Send in the house.
I didn't say it! I didn't say it! Sure. Stop telling ourselves that. This is a convention to give that up all the time.
It's from him this time.
Not for me, you're the one that put salt in everything.
You told me to.
Yeah, well, that's.
You just wanted to eat something everyone's.
Must be
You
done.
guys are so salty today.
No.
Oh my god.
I said. Like I said. Any additional concerns?
So. I think we're all ready to go. Yay. This is our last convention meeting before the convention. So this is where the fruits of all of our labor come into fruition, something like that. The key thing to remember here is we're all friends and family here. And a lot of us are stressed out. Some of us are overworked and everything else. And the key thing that you can do is check on people, see how they're doing, and try to help. One of the biggest words you can use is, how can I help you? And that's kind of important here. We're at the end. There's a lot of things. There's always things that are road bumps that we never anticipate, or just things where we go, oh, we're a little bit short on staff here. By being able to say those, how can I help you? It does matter. This is one of the most important things I think of when I volunteer, is I always end usually my conversations is, how can I help you? And the reason why I do that is because I truly do want to help. And because this is part of our kind of community, if we could all do that and see what little things we can do, we're going to reduce a lot of people's stress here. And we can get this con to be really a wonderful place. I'm going to take away a couple people's thunder here and everything else. Both our hotel and registrations are up around 10% from last year at the same time period. So this is good news. We want growth, but we don't want insane growth. We don't want 50% growth. We don't want 25% growth we can handle. 10 to 20% is actually good for us, because it just makes things go up a little bit, and we just notice it a little bit more busy, but that's something we can deal with. So, no.
Some of the rooms have been filed other than me.
Is there a possibility we'll hit 1,000 this year? Probably, from what it's looking like. I'm not going to try to jinx us by saying, yeah, we're going to hit 1,000, but I think we can. So
So with that being said, just remember, everybody here, we're here not only to help out the community by volunteering, it's also to have a fun job and fun time during our convention. This is a lot of work, but at the same time, this can be a lot of fun. And just remember, everybody in this room is here volunteering their time and money to help out this convention, to make it great. And this is not about people, it should never be about people's egos, it should be about trying to do the best we can. So, with that being said, doing the best we can, Wi-Fi. Please do not stream or do any Wi-Fi usage off the network here. We want to make sure that people that are at home can actually watch this and hear what we're saying. I believe that there is a couple people for sure going to be online today with this, but there are also going to be a couple people I know that said, I can't be online, but can I watch a cast of it afterwards? So we're going to have a few people coming back and looking at this. So it's imperative at this point if you don't do anything that's heavy data usage, if possible. And if you are concerned that you're going to be doing some usage of data and everything else, go on your cell phone if possible. Your cell phone is your friend here. And just don't use Wi-Fi. Can I put somebody on Minnesota Furs on the spot, or should I just do it myself? And he's staring at someone.
Hey, let D do it. D should do it.
I'm staring at D.
I'm going to be up there for a hotel. Let D know. D should do it. Yeah.
There's a small event called Furry Migration coming up in 2 weeks. I expect to see at least most of you there, if not all of you.
But what
Sound
happens?
good?
What happens after furry migration?
I don't know. Everything's furry migration.
Once we finish the great Minnesota get-together, what else is there? The other great Minnesota smaller get-together.
Yes, there's also going to be a picnic coming up pretty soon, quickly after. I'm blanking on the date.
2 weekends after.
Can I Google it? 2 weekends after? I forget what state that is.
22nd.
22nd. Okay. Picnic. Picnic. I'll try not to recreate year 3. It wasn't when I got on stage and jumped up and down during closing ceremony. Say picnic.
I'll pay you to do it.
Tire tracks should really go to your shirt first.
Anyways, just at this point, standard thing about staff. Oh, at the same time, I would like to bring it up because it's part of Minnesota Furs. We are looking at for the future contract. We have a committee, search committee. We talked about it last time. If you have any questions about it, please go to D and he'll answer. We're looking for submissions at this time for next year's, not next year, but 2020's con-chair person. So, staff needs, we need staff. Standard things, we always need staff, we need more staff, we need more staff, we need more staff. One of the things as you're doing this convention, look around at your volunteers, other people there. These are the most prime people to actually pick out, especially your volunteers. If somebody's doing a really good job, you should probably try to make them staff. So just look around at how people are and what people are doing and see what we can do. So we just need a lot of staff. Volunteers, want to come up here?
I feel like that.
Well, I can start jumping. Would that help?
Actually, maybe a syringe of like caffeine.
Well, that is great. I kind of want that right now.
But I don't want to put a hole in things like that. All right, at this point, if you have any needs for your department for volunteers and you have not submitted them, please submit them as soon as possible so we can get everything scheduled out and prioritized. It is important that we get people where they need to be to make the convention as best as possible. Also, could use a go-ahead too. I know we've been working on that. And more staff too. Are there any questions about the department needs and submissions?
What do volunteers get as part of volunteering for the rewards?
Our undying law.
Like, so you can sell it to people, for example, what do they get, at what point do they get access to upgraded items in ConSuite?
Let's see here. Repeat the question. Repeat the question. So what do volunteers get at different hour points, and what perks do they get? Well, every 5 hour, or every hour, my bad, every hour that they work, they get 5 tickets that they can then redeem for various bits of merchandise. Also, there's different milestones. At 2 hours, they get a very nice wristband. 6 hours is ConSuite. What else was there? Oh. Ooh, oh yes, t-shirt. T-shirt at 15 hours. You get to keep the memory with you. I'm trying to think if there's any other crazy ideas I can come up with in the meanwhile. Like a popcorn bucket you could wear on your head, but I'm getting beyond myself.
There's a hand signal tag.
What? Oh yes, early bird access. How did I forget about that? So at 10 hours, people will be able to get a redeemable coupon or code, if you will, that they can get a discount on the next year's registration, which I think will be excellent.
It'll be good for passing.
Please, so yeah, it'll be, as far as I understand, it's for next year's convention.
So about pre-registration, at the end of pre-registration.
Is that how we worked it out? So they can use that until the end of pre-registration, right after the con, or during con. I'm all over the place today. All right, any questions from anyone? Bueller? No? All right. Thank you very much.
With that, I would like to also tell people that we will do the con pre-reg rate, the con rate at the con for all staff up to the end of pre-registration next year. So you don't have to worry about if you're busy and everything else at the con to get the pre-reg. That's for all staff that work this year. So please don't abuse it. Please get it in when you have money, so we know that you're going to be coming back too. But at the same time, we want to make sure it's easy for you at the con and not have another worry. Did I get there super early bird rate on it? So it's the same rate that the volunteers get. Hotel.
All right. Yeah, I just have to excavate from here. Yeah, let's see. What's the fastest way? This way. Flying would be the fastest way. Can I just grab the camera and just turn it around where it's standing? What about teleportation? Okay.
Hey, hotel, you don't have to do this again. Until next year.
Yeah.
Con.
Okay. So, for the hotel department, minus Pat, that's right there. He's working too hard right now to come up because he's actually. If that's okay.
You could be more precise now.
We're up about 10%, like you said, from last year. So yeah, things are looking really good in that respect. We are getting the space a little bit earlier than what we needed. So we will have space, 5th floor, Superior A and B, opens up on Wednesday at 8 or 6. I think 6 actually. Yeah, so yeah, White Superior A and B opens up at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And then from that point on, 2nd floor opens up at 8 a.m. Thursday. And 4th floor, which before we said we weren't gonna get until Friday morning, we actually get at 8 p.m. on Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, my team's been working really hard to get all the final details figured out. We do have some exciting information coming up. How many people really like Passkey, that system we use? Do you like Passkey? I do. Okay. I like Kellen Sancho the best.
Yes.
He's very enthusiastic. So we need to have a moment of silence here because a frenemy has passed away, and that frenemy is Passkey. This is going to be the last year that Passkey is being used at any college.
As the chain?
Yes, the entire chain. Wow. Okay. Maybe you could help us out. There's some of us that aren't really sure what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Passkey is the reservation system that we are forced to use right now. So anytime you create an online reservation, it's going through Passkey.
Yes.
It's telling you what rooms are available, what aren't. It allocates the space for the Hyatt. It does a really bad job of it.
Just say, search on Twitter around in March on, was it March Midwest Fur Fest?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Twitter. That will tell you everything you need to know about Passkey for what the furry fandom thinks about it.
Yep.
It was not fun.
So,
I somehow survived.
It might need a different name.
so it'll be phased out by the end of the year. So we're just, our convention, depending on when we open the room block, we might be opening it without passkey. So it might be using that in-house system. So, that's something in terms of when the room block opened. If it opened again tomorrow, we'd still be stuck on the passkey because it hasn't really been, So part of that's going to be on, Kirsten, the division heads, and when they want to reopen the room block and working with us to make sure that things are on track with the Hyatt to switch over. All right. Let's see. Snow, you joined us on a walkthrough, back-of-house walkthrough a week ago. He's going to have more information for you guys on dock times, load in, load out, that sort of information. Let's see, am I missing anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, you guys have any questions, thoughts, hopes?
There's one thought, this is not hardly up there. When does our passkey link actually die? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, it should have been, but it didn't. It kept living. It's now an undead link.
Yeah, I mean, there is, you can still actually change your hotel reservations and things like that. I just saw that Wednesday nights went down a little bit too.
Okay. So we're still getting registrations, you're saying?
You can actually book our hotel room right now through passkey right now.
I am okay with that, I think. All right.
I'm okay, that's why the link isn't down. For
Yes,
those people.
really?
So if you're running a room party, I was under the impression you would get a notification of a change of your booking.
You
haven't
should be.
gotten that?
That's just because we went over that a week ago, and they're still finalizing things with the banquet event order, which is what we have to sign and everything. So that probably should be coming to you sometime within the next. If you don't see it by the end or by the middle of the week, I'd say send a hotel at furrymigration.org, and we'll double check on that. All right, good question though. All right, anyone else? All right, cool.
All right.
That's it.
See you.
Later. Would like to mention this. If anybody that is staff here that loves to look at Department of Transit websites and figure out things, it would be great if we had a staff member that could figure out exactly what the road construction will be at and what ramps and what things will be closed going downtown. So if anybody is into that and has a good way of telling people, please see me, because we would like to help people get downtown, because we have road construction and it never is going away.
And send us a newsletter so we can get it out to anyone coming.
Yep. So, and we'll send it out to everybody once we get information about that. Yes?
I actually had a question from a talk to, and he was wondering how the streamers can ask questions.
First,
That's what the ConCom channel is for on Slack.
yeah, so the ConCom channel on Slack should be available for questions during the talk. So, and as soon as we see them come up there, we will bring them up into I'll be informed, and if you have something that needs to come back, we'll come back to it. So, operations, do you need the forum, or do you want me to just say that radio training is, you need to do it now?
Just radio training, forum verbally, verbally.
Yeah, so then, before you get to radio, you need to be radio trained. So, I need to double check on this. I want to do that today. Actually, we could do that a little bit later. Do we have anybody representing Bulan? Cannot be here today. He is helping out with Eurofurds. Is there anybody representing programming that would like to talk about schedule here? Anyone? You're. If so. For those people at this point for schedule, we have the schedule, the links have been going in the Slack channel right now, so we have preview for the staff. If the staff does not have any changes, we're going to make that live to the general public. If you have any changes or questions, send it, for the online, send a message to Webmaster. If you have also, if it's really substantial changes, put the department and your division head involved in it too, so that they know about it. And also let...
And the web team will definitely let VIP services know so we can make signage to indicate changes.
Yeah, if it's changes that are already published, we will want to make sure that there's signage up for this, and we also will tell social media that there is changes too, so that we can broadcast this. A lot of people at the con will be using some sort of electronic as supplement their paper ones and everything else. For those that don't know, all of our stuff for paper for the schedule is pretty much done. I think it's actually at the printer, or if it's so close.
The pocket bag should have gone to start introduction Friday.
Yeah.
So those are set and done. But if you need any, if there are changes, please let people know, because we can make up signs, put them around the pond in different places and say, hey, this has changed. Because people will notice them sometimes.
Yeah. And changes happen. We survive changes. This happens. And that, so don't worry if there is needed to be changes or updates and everything else, we can make it happen. Don't worry about it. We'll go on scheduling. Staff admin. D.
I need to come up again.
Yeah.
So since we announced our staffing drive, we have 8 new staffers on board, so there was some success there. If you joined staff in the last about 30 days or so and you want to double check to make sure that you are on the list to get upgraded to a staffer in our registration system, check in with me. I'll confirm it, and if it doesn't, if it's not, I'll send an email over to registration to make sure that that gets updated. The con chair search is going to go out, the email with more of the information as soon as I finish writing up that into the next staffing email, probably in the next week or so. There's also going to be a link to the staff hours after the convention that's going to be going out to everyone in a thank you email afterwards. That is going to have the link, which is the exact same as you've been seeing the entire time in the ConCom channel, sometimes the general channel, and is being used in the back there for being able to record your hours. So if you haven't noticed, the hours submission link has not changed all year. It is not going to change all year until we start going into the 2019 cycle. So you can report your hours and just bookmark it if you want to on your personal device and just report updates quarterly, monthly. I'm obviously going to send out the reminders monthly through here, keep it available, etc. But that should help smooth it over than the link changing last year every single month. Aside from that, we are now at, get up the right screen. We are now at 84 documented members of staff. This is up from about 75 or so last year. So we do have more staff. Thank you everyone that's been filling out your hours, even if you're putting in 0 every single month, that is helpful to be able to know approximately over the course of a year when departments are doing their most work. Are there any questions for staffing? Okay, just a reminder, this year we're going to do the 2-badge system, I believe, a attendee one and also a staffing one. If you get your staff ribbon, please attach it to your staff badge and not your attendee badge. We want to make sure that you have the flexibility to be an attendee also. And if you want to go to a party or something like that, and you don't want to be there representing the convention 24/7 during the entire thing, you can swap over to your attendee badge and go a little incognito for a while. It's one of the nice things that we do for our staffers to try and help you be a little more flexible and not feel like you have to be on duty the entire convention, start to end.
Yeah, I think it's always important to be able to enjoy the convention that you're helping out. Having attendee badges like that help out being able to go off stage. Because as soon as you put on your staff badge, you're on stage. Expect people to be looking at you as representative of the con, but just as important, people are looking for you as the finest in the furry community. So, with that,
All right, as Chris said, we're one big family, and when we go to town, we're inviting people into our house. So we want to be on our P's and Q's and give them good customer service. If you see someone having issues on staff, ask them, can you help? What can we do for you? What can we support you? And help us take care of each other and also help take care of yourself. And on that note, we're going to talk about Doc Spot will be our kind of our medical person. If she sees that you're having issues, you stayed up too late, maybe you're having not enough food. If she tells you to go off and take a break and all that, please do so. If you don't think so, she'll bring it to your division heads or the con chair, and we will ground you for a bit until you take care of yourself. So on that note, I'm going to have her come up. We're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to be watching for and taking care of things. Oh, she's got props now too. So here she is.
you have caffeine?
Yes.
That is the best prop ever.
I fell asleep at 1 o'clock this morning on my ethics homework.
That doesn't seem very ethical.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but you know how it goes. Hi, everybody. We're going to talk about a couple of things today. This is what I will be in. If you see somebody in this vest, they're medical. I have 2. Thank you, Lego. We have 2. We have potentially one other person who is an EMT who may be working with us. We'll know at the con. We're going to volunteer. I am a paramedic. I was a street medic for 17 years, and I'm not from so grounding. Oh, that's all right. Okay, wait, where's the camera so I know how I can walk?
It's centered right on here. You can move about 2 feet either side. Yeah, another step, and yeah, you're basically out of frame. That's about it. That's about as far as you can go.
Okay, I'll work on it. What about this side? Hold on.
And yeah, you're out of frame.
So I get, okay, got it. All right, so.
It drives me up the wall too.
Yeah, you know, ADD, gotta love it. The H went out when I turned 40, but, so grounding. I know that that sounds really ominous. It's just to make sure you take care of yourself. If I look at you, now understand that I'm not gonna walk up to you and go, you're grounded. It's not like that. We wanna make sure you're taking care of yourself. And if you're on shift for 20 hours, you've had 1 meal and you haven't showered in 2 days, you're going to bed. You're going somewhere, it's just not gonna be on shift. So, I mean, like I said, I don't just walk up to people and go, hey, you're grounded, you're done. I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna see kind of where you're at. And if you have, And don't lie to me, please. Just hate that. Oh yeah, I ate 3 hours ago. Really? Then why are you so tired? And yeah. If you're grounded, there's an expectation, 621. If you are grounded or sent to bed, or even if you're not grounded and sent to bed, there's an expectation of 621. 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and 1 shower.
With the con?
No. God, no. So
For the weekend?
apply it for the day. For the day. I mean, if you haven't slept, if you've been on shift for 20 hours, we're really gonna have a conversation. If you're on radio and you need to go to bed, shut it off. I know that's hard. Look, okay, I know that's hard. At another convention, I have a radio 24 hours a day. Do you know how hard it is to go click? Very tough. And there's 3 heads. So I get that. I totally and completely get that. But you gotta shut it off. And if I hear you on the radio, then I'm going to your director because I need you to take care of yourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, how are we gonna take care of our condors? We can't. We just can't. So 621, 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, 1 shower, please.
With soap.
With soap applied, 15 seconds, armpit each side. Lather, rinse and repeat, you know.
The pool doesn't count.
No, the pool. No. Okay, wait.
The shower after the pool.
I did just throw.
Ask her how she knows.
No.
Con soup.
No.
Hot tub at Convergence. I will not go in it after the first night.
Let's not talk about hot tubs, please.
We have to
Sorry.
think about hot tubs. It's a no topic.
Oh, sorry, didn't know. I'm new here. Okay, so now that we've had that conversation, all right? You know, if you have any questions about it, you have the ability to say, I want to really talk about this. That's fine. I have no problem with that. You're going to talk about it? That's cool. Come find me. I have no problem with that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, so that's my medical hat. Okay, well, let me put them back on a minute. If you guys see a medical, if there's a medical on the hotel anywhere, in the con floor, whatever, get a hold of ops right away. I am on radio. If it's severe enough, my ops people know to come and find me. I'm on the ops floor, that's where my room will be. If it's severe, come get me, okay? Absolutely come get me. Even if it's determined that they're calling an ambulance, come get me. Okay? All right. So that's my medical. If you have first aid training, come and you don't mind using it at the con, because I know there are some people who come to the con and they're like, no, this is fun. No, I don't want to do that. Cool, I get that. If you don't mind using it, come find us, bring your first aid cards. All we ask for is first aid, CPR, AED. We've taught it. We'll, you know, if you have those current cards, bring them. We'll vet you. We'll put a red cross on your badge. And that way I know that if you're doing something at the con on a first aid, and I know that you know what you're doing. Okay? All right, medical hat now off. Any questions? Seeing none, moving on. Okay. Ops hat. Hotel security will be handling our security issues, also known as the homeless. We had a big problem with them a couple of years ago. We had a problem with them last year too. But we are not handling that. It is okay to say to them, no, I'm not giving you money, I'm not giving you cigarettes, I'm not giving you that. Please understand, I work with this exact population. I work with the homeless in Hennepin County. My real job is an eligibility specialist in public assistance. Okay, I know them well. Matter of fact, I know a couple of the guys who were out there a couple of years ago. So they didn't recognize me though. That was really funny to watch. You know me. And they can't figure out where they know me from. It's just like, That look of, wait. Okay, so hotel security will absolutely handle it. If we have a homeless person walking in, let ops know, we will take it to hotel security. Hotel security will be handling our security issues with ops assistance. All right? So if you have somebody who comes in and they are not badged, let ops know, we'll take care of it with the hotel. Okay? Let's see, faces of the con. We're gonna, peace bonding, let me talk about that first. Peace bonding, if you see somebody walking through with a huge thing, weapon, what could be determined as a weapon, just a huge thing. Huge prop, thank you, that was the word I was looking for. Okay, if you see them walking around with a huge prop, send them to ops, we're gonna peace bond it. And we're gonna have a conversation with them. Now, we're all adults here, so here it is. We're gonna have what we call the don't be a dick conversation, okay? Don't throw it, don't hit people with it, don't fling it around, don't use it as a weapon, don't even try.
Don't break the hotel.
Don't break the hotel.
Don't break the attendees. Don't break the staff.
Well, some attendees.
We have a panel for that one.
Yes, we do. All right. So, we're gonna have a conversation with them though, and then we're gonna peace bond them. And once it gets peace bonded, we then know that we have had that conversation. So if they do any of that list of things that they're not supposed to do, we're gonna say, you take that to your room and it doesn't come back up. So if you see somebody carrying something large, something weaponous, something whatever, send them to ops or a wandering host will know to bring them to us. Okay, fair enough. All right, any questions? All right, go ahead.
How are you marking?
Zip ties.
Green zip ties.
Green.
So if they see a green zip tie, should they just ask any of the ops and say?
If they have a green zip tie, then they've been to ops.
Right, but if people are seeing it, they keep being told to go to ops.
Oh, yeah, we'll tell them, that when we peace bond them, we will tell them to keep it visible. If they don't see one, they can ask, people can ask, hey, have you been to ops, have that peace bonded? And most people are gonna look at you, if they haven't, they're gonna go, huh? Oh, let me take you there. And then we escort them. So yeah, I mean, most people who've been peace bonded know, as we'll say, you are now peace bonded, don't be a dick. Okay? All right, so that brings me to the don't be a dick. We are the face of this con, really, we are. And I know that sometimes it's really hard to be nice. If they get to me, if somebody gets to me, then it's probably not going to be a nice conversation. But we're the face of this con, so we really can't be a jerk. Try to be nice, try to be kind to each other. That's hard, and I know it is. Yeah.
Model the behavior you want to see.
Absolutely.
Repeat that.
Absolutely. Model the behavior you want to see. During the daytime, a 7-year-old can't watch it, read it, or write it. It's a family show. This is a family show during the day. I know that we have adult time, and I know we're all adults. Totally get that. We have adult hours, but in the daytime, a 7-year-old can't see it, write it, or watch it, or see it, write it, or read it without getting in trouble from mom or dad. Yeah, it's not there. Send it to a corner. So that's all. Any questions? Did I cover everything? Anybody have anything you want to know about Kirst?
I got something, but I'm waiting for everybody else.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Going back to the medical stuff, if there's any,
Okay, I was switching
if
hats.
there's any first aid related stuff that we want to practice, if we need a little refresher, we do that at the meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with that. None at all. I like being a paramedic. I like teaching. So yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So one thing I would like to mention is we do have a new code of conduct that we compared to last year.
Oh, yes, we do.
During the con hours, experts are our operations people. So if there's any questions, please go to the operations phone. So we've talked about it. We know some of the hot buttons and hot issues that may come up already. So we're, as a convention, we're ready about it, but the code of conduct itself is pretty clear on these things. So, but again, if there's any questions on it, just go to operations. Help out.
Or if you have a hot button issue, or you see something, come to ops, because we'll either take it up the chain, or more than likely, we've probably already all discussed it. So we'll either give you the answer that has already been discussed, or we'll take it up the chain. But we do have a really clear code of conduct. It's really nice.
So,
okay.
And again, if you have any questions before the con about any of this stuff, go to operations beforehand.
I'll be there Thursday morning. Kevin, when are you getting? Thursday, okay. So we'll be there. I'm actually driving the truck. So yeah, and I'll be there Thursday. I'll probably out in the lobby or down in the lobby. If you have any questions or you're there and you see me, say hi. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Operations is one of our unsung heroes of the con. They help out. They're there 24 hours. They do a lot of work. And I would like everybody to give them a hand. Yeah. The amount of time that they have to put in before the con is immense. You don't think about how much time has to be put in to think about this stuff and get ready for what possible. And the best thing when operations, works well is they're transparent, or they're just there as a help desk. Because that is the most beautiful thing at that point. When people think of them as a help desk, that means we did everything right. That means everything else is not on fire, or it's being taken care of without our attendees knowing. And one thing I love about our operations department is that our operations department is part of our friends and family. And most of them are local. They're not an organization that is not part of our group. They're part of us. And that's an extremely important thing. I think it helps separate our operations department from other operations in the furry fandom.
I forgot to say something, I'm sorry.
Come up here.
Okay, so I wanted to bring this up too. Last year we had an issue with somebody and we had to escort him out. He was banned from the con for the weekend. There was some people who saw the final result and didn't know all of the information leading up to it, okay? And somebody came, talked to one of the other ops people, Andy, and said, I don't understand why was she banning me? Please understand that if you have a question about anything you see or any interaction that you see me have, because by the time the people get to me, we've tried nice. We've tried nice. So if you have any questions about what you see, you have heard me say, anything like that, please come to me. I have no problem, and anybody who knows me should know I have no problem explaining why I've done what I've done. I will always answer any questions. Okay? All right. And then you had something about the vest. What was
Laura, talk to me. Talk to any of the division heads. If you don't feel comfortable talking to that specific person, we will answer what we can or take your concerns and address them as we can. Earlier, she came up with a blue vest.
Oh.
Operations this year now has green vests. So
For
if you're
wandering
on
ghosts.
duty for wandering ghosts, you will see green vests this year and will be more visible. That's what I have. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
And one thing that know this, our operations department is all about forgiveness. when things go wrong, we're there to forgive.
Depends on that.
Well.
To a point, to a point.
Next year.
You would prefer to be, please keep it that way.
Yes, to a point. You want me to handle registration? Okay. Already took away registration, could not be, the head of registration is not here, nor I don't see anybody that is part of this department here. So, yay. Quick update on registration is that we're above. Most people got in their staff. If you are not sure that you're on the staff list or anything else, you know, we already talked about it. So, the come up here.
Yeah.
What is the procedure for staff to pick up their badges at the convention?
So before we do that, I just want to say one thing.
Time machine.
If you wonder if you are even registered for the convention, go to your email that you think that you registered with it and do a search for registration confirmation to Furry Migration. You'll see something from RegFox in there, and it will actually say the year that you registered for. In case you get confused, was it 2017, 2018, because you pre-regged? Sometimes your 2018 registration will actually come up as the date code of 2017 as the email, but you can easily check that field to see exactly where you were. You can also click on it and upgrade your registration if you would like. If you have a question about if you've been upgraded to a staffer, there's two different ways that you can do this. You can either come to me while I'm sitting over there or message me over Slack, give me your legal name, and I will check it up to see if you are on the 2 upgrade list. If you're not on the 2 upgrade list, we can fix that. If you are online or you're seeing this in the past before the convention, you can send me a message over Slack or an email staffadmin@furrymigration.org. and I'll look it up for you and we'll fix it then, hopefully before the convention. When you arrive at the convention, I'm going to be sitting up in operations, probably in one of the many corners. If you don't know where that is, that's the executive boardroom on the 4th floor. If you were here for year 2, 3, and I think also, no, just 2 and 3, it's the executive boardroom on the 4th floor of the hotel. It's the one with the nice big table that can't be moved. So I'll be up there and I will have the staff badges, your staff swag, etc. And you just come up and see me. I'll check you in, you initial, you sign off, I give you both of your badges, give you your stuff, you're good to go. Stuff.
What time will you be there starting at? Because my assumption was we didn't get space on 4th until 8 p.m. on Thursday.
What time will you be available to pick up staff?
Because some of us need to be on duty starting way earlier than 8 p.m.
I will be there when I can.
No, I meant, what time do we get into that room is my question. Because.
Hotel?
What time are we getting on space?
Up space on Thursday. Yeah, we do get it early. Ask me during the breakout. I'm pulling up the information.
I mean, I'm basically looking because we have, there's an assumption that was in there that I don't know that had been asked. Because I wasn't hearing anything.
If I can't do it, I'll do a little breakout on 5th floor since we take control of that space. You will be able to get your staff badge on Thursday. And we don't actually do full badge patrols, etc. until Friday. So you do have a little bit of flexibility over there. And worst case scenario, hunt me down.
I have ways to forward.
But at the same time, if you're there.
Yeah. I'll also go on Slack and through a couple of mechanisms that'll say, hey, we're opening up at this time and go. It all depends on when I can be there, when I can get all the badges, when I can get set up, and when I can start doing the line. I'll do announcements over the radio net that we're starting to do staff badge pickups. I'll do Slack channel announcements. There's several different ways that you'll be notified.
2 things. One, I'll say my comment, then Twisted has a question or a comment. The big thing is that as soon as you can pick up your badge, pick it up, please. for two reasons. One, we want you to have your badge, but second, you're going to be probably on stage even before this. So when you're on stage, we want you to have a staff badge.
When you say executive boardroom, can you correlate that to what we were using back in the day?
Yeah, video games.
So, yeah. So,
It's where the pinball machine that kept on breaking down.
So, we did skip over 2 topics. I feel sorry about that, but we're just fluid here. Let's go to logistics, load in and load out, which seems to be really appropriate right after staff badges. So.
Well, the big news we had for load in, load out, hotel already went over, which is that we're going to have access to all of 4th floor at 8 p.m. on Thursday. This is actually during the time of the ice cream social, so we're not expecting a lot of that activity to happen until around 9, but you're welcome to it. Let's see here. My schedule is on Thursday, we will be picking up the truck around 7 o'clock. We will be hitting the ATC locker around 8. We should be here around 9. Sorry? That's what my crew's doing. We'll be hitting Costco for the food at 10, and we will hopefully be at the hotel around 11. So anyone who is setting up Thursday morning, if we can see you around 11 to start collecting your stuff to get to your rooms, that would be best. The 2nd floor, and we'll have some stuff moved into 5th floor because we actually have that on Wednesday. But what else did the other notes I have? ATC did find some of their grid walls, so we are not dependent on just the grid walls we've purchased this year. We will have some from them. So let us know if anyone needs some grid wall, and we previously told you we did not have enough. And let's see here. We will be moving everything up from the high loading dock, which makes it a little faster to get up the elevators. And it means we have access to the nice bigger elevators, the actual cargo lifts to get up to the 2nd floor. I think that's it for load in. Load out remains largely unchanged. We are.
Review the times on load out.
Yep. Remind me again when we lose access to the rooms. I know we have some until Monday and some until Sunday.
Let's see.
My notes just have my truck times.
Candy, thank you.
Each floor has a rally point for your equipment. If you are on 2nd floor, your rally point is.
If you're talking that much, get up here. Your flip, always get up here.
So as you're checking out your stuff, if you can help us checking out on Sunday, that would be marvelous. So it's pretty much as soon as closing ceremonies occurs, or even if slightly before you want to start packing up just because it works with your timetable. If you're on 2nd floor, everything will be moving to St. Croix, which is registration. Registration will have a very specific area to the executive boardroom. We've already talked to operations. They know that they'll be shrinking their operations and having a place into the backside where all that equipment can go. Yeah. Thank you, Archer. So that, listen to them when they say, put it over there. They are still in operations. They're still dealing with the rest of our con people because they're leaving. Listen to them. If they say put it there, you put it there, and it'll get staged there. 5th floor con suite. Me and Andrew have already discussed where we're staging our stuff, but it'll be in a very specific area up there. And then anybody who's available Monday, because that first day is just getting to those 3 rooms, taking inventory, making sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Hey, we all get a full night's sleep, but starting early Monday, we're going to pack all that stuff in the truck as soon as we get the truck to get it off. If anybody's available Monday, we could really use your help.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are these rally points also being used for check in, for move in?
The short answer, not exactly, because 4th floor gets there early, or 4th floor.
8 p.m. Thursday.
Correct. Which means all that equipment is being moved to Skyway on 2nd floor. Get with Zach here. he will go specifically. So if you arrive on site, let's say midday Thursday, he will show you your stuff is here. And if it just comes working with hotel until you get it. Sorry, I'll repeat the question. For anybody else, 4th floor, we are waiting to get into 4th floor was the question. Where is our stuff going to be? We arrive between 11 and noon. All of that stuff will go to 2nd floor Skyway. This is actually going to be team programming in the grid if you need to take a look at the map, because that doesn't start till Friday. Get with Zach, tell him what your timetable is that Thursday. He will figure out, okay, I expect to see you at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Maybe you're not there till Friday morning. He needs to know so that he needs to be there for you to meet at Skyway and to get your stuff to whatever room that it's going to. Yes.
Is there any wiggle room on Sunday for that closing ceremony between these stuff? As photography, we permit for right PM, our photography can be at closing ceremonies, take photos.
Double check with hotel is the first thing. Hotel will give you the hard deadline to when they are out. You manage to the best of your ability to make sure that you can be completely out of that room by that end time. And then if it comes down to, okay, we're here at 11 o'clock, let him know as soon as possible if we need to find somebody or just how it's getting dumped off. So let's say you are on 4th floor, operations knows that that room needs to be open till then. So you do need to manage that communication. So now that you know that operations is that rally point, talk to hotel, when is my end time? Talk to operations. Hey, I'm not going to be wrapping up till 11 o'clock. Will somebody still be in that room at that time? That would be the procedure. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, the timetable for Monday, just for anyone willing to help out, we're expecting to get to the hotel with the truck around 10 a.m. Should be a pretty quick load, but we're not going to rush too much on Monday since it is a free day. We expect to be completely wrapped up around 3 p.m. I think that's everything I've got.
One thing I gotta say, you know, sometimes you sit in bed and go like, God, Friday's gonna suck. The concerns about Friday, a lot of that weight has been lifted off my shoulders about those concerns. We have a little bit more time, and that is a wonderful thing. I think everybody can agree to that. Theming?
Did we do that now?
Yeah, well, you were supposed to be done before that.
Well, I was gonna say, because I have multiple departments and stuff.
Why don't we do wait till then, if you would like that, do that. So I'm going to summarize a couple things about social media and web right now. Unless there's something else, you can bring it up during your discussion. At this point, a lot of people are going to be using our website and social media to figure out what they're going to do at the con and what's happening at the con. So double check your information. If you want changes on the information, the sooner you get it to webmaster@furrymigration.org, the sooner it's going to get up there and the sooner it's going to be fixed. Yes?
Just quick interject here from earlier. Most of 4th floor goes away Sunday night at 12 a.m., basically midnight. Yeah.
So to what Eric said, if it wasn't there, most of 4th floor goes away at midnight. Still talk to hotel on these concerns and everything else to make sure that everything is coordinated correctly. I don't want surprises here, but the good news is that we have a little more time than we were thinking. So really at this point, the next day or two, I do have a homework assignment for most people in this room. Go on the website, check the schedule, check your times. There's an hour, I'll post the link here, but we're going to do a soft launch, so you'll be able to just find it on the website where there is hours. Look under the hours for your department. If you're running events of any sort at the convention, or even if you're doing it for yourself, check it out. If there is no description there, send me a description if there isn't one that you want there. What happens right now is a lot of people are going to be looking at those things, and they look at the descriptions. We get a lot of emails about those descriptions, asking about, because they look at it and say either they are curious about something, or they're learning about what furry is by the descriptions of our panels. So they'll come back and ask questions. So having good descriptions there is important. We do have on our event schedule this year, we'll have the DJs listed and also the room parties are directly listed in our online schedule at this point for people to find it. So any additional updates for those, please. We will have a policy for updates of schedule that social media should be able to handle it at the con. You don't have to go to somebody. There'll be a couple other people that will be able to update the website and online without talking to me, which is the most important thing. So I don't expect to be the block. At any time right now, social media, if you have anything, send a message to social media, send a message to Zez. If you don't get a response, send a message to me. I'll figure out what's happening. We need to just tell people what's happening at the con, what's going on. We also want to take any of our special events, especially like Iron Artists and Iron Pen, to actually make it a little bit more louder than we had in previous years. We're starting to get people submitting to Iron Artists and Iron Pen. We want to make sure that there's more of it, so that more people and more choices are out there. This is a contest it's a contest, but at the same time, it's community. It's bringing our community together and getting our community to be more involved with the con, and events like that do help. So feel free to help amplify the messages that are going on there. It's going to be important to get people to think about this con. This is a very much, in my opinion, a make or break it year. We have a lot of eyes on us. We have a lot of people from other countries looking in at us this year compared to other years. We are now at the point that if we do well, we show that we are unique. We show that we're a Minnesotan with our events, with ours, going out there and with social media, amplifying these messages of us doing well. We have a very big chance of a much bigger growth next year and a lot more people in our community recognizing how well we do put on furry migration. Let's bring up the divisions heads that are here. And let's start with Flip. Then we'll go to Mako, and then we'll go to Sid.
It's been kind of busy recently. I've been saying about a co-head, Andrew. Everybody now has seen him. That is the person. So if you don't find me, talk to him. We're doing a really good job making sure that we're talking to each other, or in a worst case, we're still talking to Zach, and he'll make sure we'll talk to the other person. So that all works out really well.
If my mind is blanking out and if I call him Rick, will he get upset at me?
That's the point. Yeah, a lot of people know him as that. Oh, you're that Rick guy. Well, that works too. Room parties, I know there's been a little bit of delay on some of the processes there. We're still working on that. Part of that with the hotel pass key system. Yay, that's going away. And just, we know that it's been a little bit of juggling. Thank you for bearing with us. But if there are any remaining questions about room parties, they're both here today. So honestly, ask them. Yeah. Hotel, I just want to say you've been doing a fabulous job. I know things have gotten a little cattywampus in the last month, and your ability to just sit there and say, hey, we can deal with this, has been exceptional. I know I've said it outside, but I want to say it in public, that it's been a fun juggling match. I'm glad you've been able to meet the challenge. Other than that, talk to the people directly. If you need to talk to me, it's mainly because you haven't introduced yourself, really. So.
Leaving you hanging there, Kirsten. All right, first, real quick, I don't think we have anything from photography, anything new, because their photography's looking good. Our video, if you have, as per previous requests, if you need panels or anything videoed at the con, that needs to go through programming and Rico so that they can make sure that they can try and arrange something. We cannot video every single panel. It's just not going to work out like that. Main stage takes priority most of the time, as do our guest of honor panels. Digital signage. There is information on Slack if you haven't checked it already. If you're interested in finding out more, that's the place to go. Basically, display boards that have updates to programming, lists of events, things like that. They're really cool. We had one last year. He's had them at a couple of the local meets. If you want to learn more, check out the digital signage channel on Slack. It's a good place to go. Kellick, do you have any updates from merch? You can show later if you want to see one of the items we're going to have. We have a nice tumbler cup that we have will be for sale at the convention merchandise table this year. It's really nice.
The only thing I would say is pretty much all the other merch arrives Monday.
We're everything. Actually, we're good for our merch and sponsor gifts and all that. Speaking of sponsor gifts, I have for people to check out that are here. I have the super sponsor bottle. It's a nice metal vacuum sealed bottle. That is a super sponsor gift. It's quite nice. Very useful, very handy. And if you happen to have been a super sponsor last year and had one of those nice little handy bags that came with it, it's got a bottle holder on the side. Fits perfectly. So you want the pair, that's how you get it. I also have most of the sponsor gifts, including a nice pin, the patches and the stickers that we normally do for people to look at. I do think that it all turned out really well this year, and I think people will be quite happy with it. If you have any requests for the guests of honor during the con, like we know they have panels, we have events that they're going to attend. If you have anything that you might need from them, we can't guarantee they can do everything, but we need to know. Okay? Please relay that to me or Burke. You can email goh@furrymigration.org and just let us know what's going on. Because otherwise, if we don't know and you come up to one of us during the con and say, hey, I thought blank was going to be at this panel. Well, you know what? If you don't tell us now, we didn't hear about it. All right, publications. Our con book and pocket guide have gone to the printers. They look really cool, really nifty. We did our best to get all the information from everyone that we could, make sure that it was all updated. If, when you get to the con, you find something is an error, please just come to me. Say, hey, we found this. This is wrong. That's fine. It happens. We know. Everybody knows. It's just something that happens. Okay? But we can make at con signs, print them up, and post them places with corrections. So moving on to signage with that. I have posters for theme to put up all around the place, which is cool. I also have convention maps that are coming. I got 10 copies of them coming, so they'll be all over the place. We have for ops and registration, large poster size versions of the code of conduct put up on their wall, so we can say, there you go, okay? And we got all sorts of other nifty little things. But if you need some smaller signage for your room, please let me know. I'll be doing a print run just prior to the convention. If you want to print them yourself, that's good. But please check anything that's going to be posted as official documents in your room or around the con with, at minimum, your division lead. Okay? This is because we know typos happen. We also know that if you put a sign up that says, these are the rules of this room, okay, we got to make sure that they pass muster with the rules for the convention. Okay, please be very careful with that. You do not want to have anything that contradicts stated policy for the con. So we have to have someone to verify that. Okay. Theme. We have a theme. I hope everyone knows what it is. No,
it's Batman,
no,
right?
No, it's send in the cursed. But yeah, Midway Menagerie, State Fair, Carnival. One thing you'll hear about this week, if you're watching Slack, or if I have anything, if you want to be involved with it, theme booths. Booths will have like carnival booth setups. We need people to help work them. I have a few things I'll be doing myself and setting up. I will be pestering people relentlessly up until the con for volunteers to help out run a game or something at one of the booths. Please just throw an idea out there. It has to be family friendly. Sorry to the person glaring at me from the second table. But in addition to that, I will be around the con space from basically starting Thursday, as soon as we start getting set up, 6 p.m., until Sunday after closing, practically the whole, from morning to night, around promoting the theme and promoting the con. I have a nice red and white striped vest and carnival theme. I also have a nice gold and black vest that is very highly visible. Okay, and I'm gonna find something else garish to wear as well. If you can't spot me, you're not looking hard enough, or you're blind, and I apologize. I could try to wear something louder, but I don't want to have them hear me in the state of Kansas.
So the salmon and orange,
No orange. I've been told no orange. I would get hurt over orange. If you have any questions about anything theme related, please ask. We last year, and I know this happens at other cons because I've done this often enough to know. If you're at the con and you come to me and you say, hey, you know, I had this theme idea for this year, I'm probably not going to be very happy with you. Okay? It doesn't mean we can't do it, but it does mean that if you're doing something at the con last minute, these things tend to need more than 5 minutes of thought. Okay? So just please come forward. But I'm going to go back to another point because I want to reiterate this signage. I need to know. If you need me to print something, if you want signs for your room, I can help you make them up. I can get them printed, but I have to know pretty much immediately. Okay? So we have time to review them and time to get them printed. Now, if you find out you need a sign and you don't have time and you need to print it yourself, that's fine. Again, double check with someone, anyone, preferably a division lead. I know we have people who specialize in looking at these things, but come to me, someone. We do not need a sign that looks really strange. Welcome to team programming, and that's it. It's not very dynamic. It's fine. We can do better. We all know it. Okay? But if we don't have time to work on it, what you're going to get is exactly what you asked for. And trust me, if I give you exactly what you asked for, it's probably not what you want. Any questions on any of that? And I know it's a lot.
Do you want me to bring the strip?
We'll look at that later. He's got a shiny blinky. We'll look at later at breakout. It's a light strip that our logistics person has put together to go with our theme booths to make them more visible.
And because all my parts come in 5s, I have one spare if someone has a need for it. 6 feet long and decent back, but do not adhere to the walls.
We have a cage for this fight.
If we have 5 of them, if you need to have 2 departments are looking for them, we can just use 3 of the booths. They're nice to have. They're a great thing. It makes things more visible. But we need to promote any part of the con. Please just do it. Okay? Or come to me and I'll shout at people during the con. Because carnival barkers, that's what you do. Anything else? All right.
Before he walks away, 2 things. One, I know he's not going to say this, but if you would like to help before the con, you're building booths, right?
At some point.
He does need help for help getting some of the
Well, if someone next weekend who has a garage and possibly some power tools would like to help me cut lengths of PVC, that would be very useful. I can do it on site at the con, but I don't really want to make that much of a mess there. But I'm basically working on finding a place to do that. I know mooring has offered, but I don't know what his availability actually is. We've just had some issues getting things set up. And to be honest, we have to prioritize what we prioritize. And getting pubs done over the last couple of weeks has been the highest priority item for the con. So
yeah. And I would like to thank you for your effort and for all the work you've been doing for the last couple of weeks.
I don't know what he's talking about. It's completely, it's
appreciate your work.
But guys, please at the con, please look around. Well, yeah, we'll have prizes. We'll have tons of prizes, games and prizes and tickets. I will post all and more of that into the Slack channel and spread it around. If you have questions, come to me. But at the con, and I know this is something that, from a staff perspective, not everyone pays attention to. We have the theme. Feel free to promote it. We have lots of departments. Feel free to promote them. Okay? If you hear an attendee talking about something, spread it around. You know, answer their questions, okay? Because that's something that that we have to do. I mean, seriously, something. Don't just wait for a wandering con host to come by for them. If you can answer a person's questions, please do, because it's something that we all see. We get busy, we get trapped into our own thing. I don't want to be the only person standing out there in a bright, shiny vest answering questions. So
we're all gonna have bright, shiny vests.
I would love to, but I would get hurt by someone glaring at me in the third row.
Can I have a bright vest?
That is up to you.
First, aren't you vested enough in this convention?
I will not answer that question.
All right. Just a few things. Chris has already covered social media since Zest is not here. Just want to bring up, if you see things going on social media, do not assume that anybody's seen it. Let social media, Chris, myself, know that something is going on, whether it's good or bad. We want to push the good. We want to address the bad as soon as we can, or questionable things. Just let us know that we might all be in a meeting and not see it, things like that. Just push it through to us. If you see anything you want to help promote, remember the hashtag is MNFM2018. And we want to address volunteer hours for the department itself. We are shorthanded. Our hours are going to be limited. If you know you need something for volunteers, get it into us so we can plan for it, because we will not be there all day. If we get more people to help us staff the booth, we'll extend the hours, but we are shorthanded. We're going to do the best we can. And you should have seen in the last week or so, too, there was a survey that went out to staff. Please fill that out, get it back in so we know what's going on. Just follow the email. Okay. And when all this craziness is done in 2 weeks, keep in mind that our postmortem is September 29th, back here. I don't have the dates, but it should be in the general channel. Look at that. Plan to
Saturday,
be here.
September 29th, 1 to.
1 to whenever. All right. So I was just reminded, Saturday, September 29th, 1 until question mark. Please come back, give us the feedback, let us know what worked, what didn't work, and any other concerns. There may be some other stuff going on that day. We're still trying to confirm that. So, especially if you've been with us for 5 years, you definitely want to come to that meeting. And speaking of ConCom dates, we have ConCom dates for next year already. So you can start putting this out. Our first one for our 2019 schedule is going to be Saturday, November 3rd, 2018. It will be here. I don't have the dates, but we'll put that up in the channel. Or I'm sorry, don't have the time. Is it
1 to 5. Same
1 to
as
5,
Thursday.
okay. 1 to 5, Saturday, November 3rd. Then we have one on Sunday, December 9th. And then we start into 2019. Yeah, 19, it says 18, but it's 19. It'll be January 5th. So we'll look for that later today. It'll go into channel. We will have them announced through March 2nd. We have other dates in process, but they haven't been accepted yet. So, and then some people know about the project last year. Since it was Kurt's first year at the convention, we were secretly making a memory book for him last year. That was a gift for him. Now we can make him look very uncomfortable because we're going to do it again today, or this year, and we're going to start today. I have some paper here. If you have time and you want to write a comment or things about what you feel, or wait until you're at convention and you're very frustrated, you can write it then.
I'm willing to submit it to the FBI.
Oh, whatever. So I'll have some paper, I have some pens, markers. Otherwise, if you don't have time today or you want to think about it, we'll have all the supplies in the art jam. And then that'll be available all weekend. That's all I've got for admin at this point.
Before we get a little further, anything from TPS we'd like to talk about here, about upcoming things, or anything else you would like to talk about at the convention to tell people here? know.
I have notes, I don't have any dates,
We have our little camera to the real world.
awesome. Okay, I don't have, things I can like speak out right now. I would have to go through my notes and see if I need to talk to anybody here. But otherwise, as far as for the larger membership and for the ConCom, we still have stuff going on that you're all invited to. So the first Friday of September, which I believe is, what? The first, thank you. That's useful. There will be a free movie night here. I don't know what the titles are because the organizer is still in Canada. So as soon as we know, we'll try and let you know. But you know, we do that. Y'all are invited. It's in this room. People bring food. They try to do fun double headers. And if anybody's interested in, you know, joining the group, there's actually a club, the GPS Movie Appreciation Posse. So they run the movie nights and they're going to try and do away missions and all that sort of fun stuff. We just had an open quarterly meeting. Trying to think of anything else going on. Yeah, obviously, our next thing is going to be Furry migration auction. So, yeah, if you have any questions for me, I'm kind of hanging out in the corner over there. But, awesome, thanks.
GPS will be running their charity. They're going to have their selling and their auction there. Yay! So and room party. Can't forget the room party.
Oh, and
sure.
we're bringing in the cotton candy.
If I just sit in the room and just put my hand there like that for minutes.
People will come up and start nibbling on you. That's a bad.
You will get yelled at for sanitation.
Tell them what they're bringing, because that didn't get on the audio.
Oh, if you didn't hear it, they're bringing cotton candy machine. So. Bring it up here because then you can hear it on the channel.
This is not con related at all. It's just at the company where I work, we're looking for a junior web developer, and I know a lot of geeks possibly qualify. So if any of you folk can do the CSS, jQuery, responsive design, coding, that sort of thing, see me. I'm part of the group that's actually doing the hiring. So just let me know if you're interested, and we'll see if we can work something out. We're out in Plymouth by 494 and 55. So anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, if anybody else has anything they know in the community is looking around for people for, you know, that need to hire out, we're here to help each other. I know people are still looking for jobs, and it's always important to give opportunities whenever they're available. One couple last things on registration. The closing of registration will happen probably around Monday before the con. So people can register online at the door price until then. If they do pre-reg by that time, their badge should be printed. So if you do get in there beforehand, you should have a pre-reg badge. So if you know your friends and family that are going to the con, they're planning to be there, you can register online right now, and we're guaranteed that you'll pick it up Thursday. At the point, once it's either Thursday or Friday morning, it will come back online. The registration link will be available online, and they can actually pay and register online or at the door. 2019 pre-registration will be available at the con. We should be able to have, and that will be at an early bird price for 2 hours, like we usually do. But for anybody that's staff, you can do it afterwards, of course, as we talked about before. We will get some information up on the website about 2019 as soon as possible. We will also keep we will hopefully have a registration link still up there for 2019. We will not have a hotel link per discussion with hotel about when that will come live. For 2019, if you have things you want up there early on, otherwise most stuff is just going to go either be It won't be deleted, it will just disappear from public view.
It'll be archived.
It'll be archived in a way that we can recover it next year. But at the same time, and shortly after, we will have the photography up on the website. But more importantly, 3 weeks after the convention, that Saturday, the last Saturday of September, is going to be our postmortem, which is just as much a celebration for the accomplishments that we did at the convention, and just one or two things that we did wrong and we can improve on. Because to be brutally honest, we're going to do great. We're going to do awesome. There'll be some things that go wrong. It happens. As long as we can just put it underneath the rug for a while, we can go back and look underneath the rug later and go,
Fluffy, what are you doing there?
yeah. So at this point, there's a lot of stuff here. We're going to do our standard department breakouts. I have a feeling this might go a little bit longer than normal. So we should plan to be getting back together at 3:15. I'm going to go around the room. For those people that aren't familiar with this part, I go around the room and I go point my finger of accusation, and you say who you're going to talk to. For example, I need to talk with video games for sure. I need to talk with hotels. And there's going to be, so we go around the room, and that's a good way to know what's going on and what, I need to talk to you and everything else. So, finger of accusation.
I need to talk to treasurer, and I think that's it.
Oh, I also have to talk to treasurer too.
I need to talk to photography, person ops together, OCHAD, Waco, and maybe the treasurer.
Me already?
Yes, because I'm tricking you.
Okay. Everyone needs to talk with my beautiful, beautiful computer, and I'm sure that there's some people who need to talk to me.
Yes.
I need to speak with logistics, our GPS liaison, Artist Alley, ops, and volunteers.
I'll talk to Kate.
Sorry, I thought you were going the other way.
I'm here to trick you guys. That's my job right now.
You see, you're already doing that kind of weird wheel trick. Okay, so I need to talk to volunteers, I need to talk to ops, I need to talk to fiscal, and I probably need to talk to a couple other people that aren't here, so I'll be emailing.
Hotel will sit here and wait for people to come up to us like they always do.
Can we do that in the other room? Ouch.
Yeah. So hotel's going to be out on the couch level.
Yeah.
No, that'll work.
Yeah, let's do that.
Always get the best room somehow.
It's like they can plan that and organize it.
So, soon theming, and also with theming, I need to talk with
I need to talk with Waco, who needs to talk with me anyway, so that works out, and I think that's it on my list.
Anybody?
Pending.
Pending.
I need to talk to that guy, and I know that we need to talk to signage.
Yeah, cyanide, and I'm just gonna check with,
Anything? I need to talk to Lego, visit the purse, and someday go
logistics.
Everybody who wants to do radio, who hasn't radio training yet, and anybody else wants to talk to me, just talk to me. I'm a cool guy.
Zach/logistics, just to confirm stuff.
How do I want to screw people around? Oh, just go to yard.
No one in particular, obviously, a couple people will say, can you talk to the photography?
That is a small thing, catch up with what's going on.
Waco, the assets treasurer.
We can play this game too.
I need to talk to logistics, and I need to talk with you about the grid blocks.
Yeah.
I think I want to talk to you and one.
Need to talk to Andy GPS, hotel, logistics, someone who's representing physical, because they don't say Cairo, and maybe Pat technical photography.
Hi.
Hi, I need to talk to logistics, and then apparently whoever else wants to talk to us. We'll be camped out.
Anybody needs to find me, I'll be serving pretzels because that was the last experiment. Before you come up to me, be willing to share the pretzel with somebody, because there's always somebody that have salt or cinnamon sugar.
I have to admit mine. I have to talk to assets on a very important subject. Anything over here?
Private meeting.
I guess I gotta talk to, I'll figure out whatever else to use my list. I'm trapped it now.
And I would like to remind people, if you have stuff for opening and closing ceremonies, the man to talk to is there. Please talk to him.
I think I have everyone I need for opening ceremonies. Only two people talk to me about closing yet, so it could be a really short show. Take that as a warning.
I like the idea of a short show, but I think it won't happen. Anyways, 3:15, let's try to get back.
Plus, we have things as a department we need to talk about anyway, like staff development, delegating that. Okay.
Okay, good. All right, and Basically, I need you to. But also, maybe during the
Well, I was just curious if you
You want to share?
I still have email you that you guys took while we were here. Once we have confirmed when we were getting our stuff, we can set up now. That's fine. I just confirmed logistics.
Let me update that. Two for dealers and slash.
Yeah, so the program we have up here is going to be, I don't need to tell you this, this is not the improvement. Yeah, the only thing is, battery pack, yeah, so far, I'm really not sure.
It's a little bit different to stand things up.
Or to think about the show. Oh, yeah, for this year, yeah. These shows are about 100 pounds. But this whole show that pulls down this is rated to like 1,000 pounds if you take the list off. Yeah, we just invested heavily, and I'm really impressed with how we did it. I also ready for that.
Right, yeah, it's the second floor, right? Of course. Oh, okay.
So basically, for us, if you work on it, we're gonna do that.
Basically, is
Yeah, that's all I need to know.
Wow. I started thinking that it possibly be what I did. That's exactly what I did. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Monday on a city.
Tell us specifically what you're looking for, and there might be something
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say, if you see anything that you know, of course, the one big one, of course, is another shop.
that'll be.
But other than that, we got anything that you guys are like, well, that's really the pressure. And that's basically what I'm looking for. Anything that's,
There's so much stuff.
Yeah, so you can get that. Yeah, they told them.
Just trying to figure out when we get
This guy is supposed to get classes. He's actually Marco said he could just use your children's units so that was based off modern jurisprudence. Yeah, I love the random ones, but the chasing patterns, that's a lot of jurisprudence. I need yeah, so the potential issues, these battery boxes I got, didn't have to go to school, so the coverage comes out really. It was a bit more information from walkers. It wasn't quite
Just like I do it this morning, I'm done. You're just like, come on.
Funny thing is, so I didn't hear anything about that one job. I applied, Oslo School District has an IT position. So I applied, but I didn't hear anything back from the company. And got an email earlier this week for an interview. And it's the Thursday of FF. So I go interview, then I come to the COM later in the day. So it actually works out. And I'm hoping it works out because it's 30 minutes from Kurt Lake. Where Kurt Lake is, it's hard to get anything close to it. There you go. So hopefully I'll have something new at the COM.
Thanks a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You want the pretty version? Is that where you're going? So, by the way, much of the guys want to go and the guys want to have all the stress and the movement. I'm mostly Charles.
I'll show you the clear. So you can.
No, that's my first.
It's like spandex.
I do it first.
Yes, I do.
Can I talk about this last?
Yes. So short answer is the same rules apply here. However, either Friday all the way usually about 7 a.m.
Some of them are done.
Sure. Sure.
Yes.
There's an irony there.
Exactly. Just saying.
Wow. So, it is very, but now that we know what it is, let's work with first and bring it up, and let's just make sure it's saying what it's saying. And I talk about the garage, that is updated for garage, that we use fresh. I checked with them, that is if you want to. Yeah. And yes, so also, right, we pass it.
We do, and Vermont is why our gentleman is very good at handling claims.
Yeah, it's a concept. I do sleep with someone.
So many. Very
You guys are ready. I've heard the second was the action is a good right now. Yeah.
Okay, so.
I asked for yes. I would be helping out with so since there was the basically
Is it going to be done to the Western
yeah, he's got
I'm thinking. Oh, come on.
I'll get like filled in full with everything, so I'm pretty much relying on Saturday.
Well, I'm actually.
Hi, we're up here.
Because I couldn't find that.
Well, it's on the online schedule.
This is not like the one you're.
You gotta take care
Well,
of
yeah.
Oh, no worries.
But it's, like I said,
Then you go to the 7. Yeah, so, I'll come on, so we'll go to 4:30, I'll come on at 5. Okay. I will be, and then
Minnesota,
I'll be my back, and then I'll come back.
and basically what it is, temperature stuff.
Yeah, when I went for
Let's get back.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
Until sometime next week.
Yeah.
Class is definitely going to be like 5.
Yeah.
Basically, we're saying, hey, I'm going to be coming these days. What do you need?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, if you can get out early and head down, that's cool.
Computer science is probably going to be the easiest.
Figure it out.
Since a lot of it is, since I'm just going to be missing labs.
Yeah.
But either way, all I have to do is go to this app called VMware Horizon. But all I have to do is just go into Horizon here, and there we go. I just have to go into here and connect
If the internet connection would let you.
Yeah.
In theory, you could.
But like all.
I'm pissed at Jack. He's at Red Cow.
I can just do it at any point.
Cool. I go by the way. He says go with it. The encrypted Wi-Fi. He says just.
Is Kaigo on Slack or something, or?
Yeah. Well, he was.
As far as half an hour.
Yeah. All right.
So at this point, we have a lot of moving pieces, and we already pretty much over-talked about everything here. I think we know a lot of this. Is there anything that everybody thought of after talking around, listening to other people, that they need to bring up to the floor to people to know about what's happening at the con?
Yeah, I suppose I've got one thing.
Okay, come up here.
All right, I do expect on Friday to have seen everyone to get items moved into rooms. If for whatever reason you haven't managed to get your stuff from the staging area Friday, we should have this done before opening ceremonies. Go ahead and ask for logistics on the radio. We have a alternate storage space in the event we have to move anything out of there. So go ahead and contact us if you didn't manage to get your stuff out of the room by then. I think that's it.
That sounds good. Is there any anything else anybody wants to say other than, woohoo, the con's coming?
Woohoo, the con's coming?
Yeah, well, we all want to say that. Because this is one of the biggest things is the con itself. It's our way of showing the world how cool Minnesota is and the furry community is. And stop looking at me like that. Minnesota is cool.
Yes.
It's also cold.
Sub-zero. But I was going to say, we're having it the wrong time of year to show that off.
Yeah, so I think at this point, I'm just going to go around the room and see, just tell me what's going, what else are you thinking of and what are the things you're doing before the con if they're important to talk about. I know that means that, I know that for you, that's nothing. So, anything other than work on youth programming?
Youth programming, and I've got newsletters going out to the public and staff, other than that.
And one thing to just remind people, if you have stuff you want to get out to the public for the newsletters, send it to him. Also send it to social media properly, because if it's important enough to get in a newsletter, we want social media to be blasting it out there. So.
Volunteers, we really need some help with volunteers in the department.
Let me know if more staff are coming on board. I would like to get them staff badges before we move on.
Anything?
Me?
Oh, we could do you.
No, I'm really anything specific.
Get backdrop and all that stuff ready.
Hey, signage. If you have sign requests that you want printed by the con, they need to be in this week. I prefer them by Monday, but we have a little bit of space in there. But if I don't hear anything from the department by this Wednesday on printing requests for stuff to be printed by the con, I will assume you have nothing. And that's because we're running out of time to get to that.
Anything for our Sally area?
I'm sorry, I was reading an update. But no, I think everything's pretty good. We've got most of our bases covered, and we only have 2 seats open for the year now.
That's cool. Hotel?
Okay, so just as a note, in Slack, in both the general chat as well as the hotel channel, we do have a finalized list of move-in, move-out dates for when that is. So be sure to check there if you have any questions on when you need to pack up and leave and when you can move in. We're going to be working with logistics and with Mako over there. Mako doesn't know it yet. We're going to do signs for designated staging areas.
Email me.
So we will email him about that, but basically that way for people coming in, if they have any questions on where their staging room is for their floor, they can look towards the signs. I think that's all we got.
Anything? Volunteers? 5 more volunteers is a recommendation for the whole con?
Yes, more volunteers and the staff, if we can find any, it would be a really big help.
I think I've gone over everything I need. Pretty much just getting into gear and getting stuff organized and moved.
I think I've got everything for the most part. Really, the only thing I need to do is just try to get used to everyone, submit with everyone, just I'm green.
Yep.
GPS, if I come across anything, you'll be getting an email from the ConOps@furniture.org email address, and I'll put in the subject line if it's time sensitive. And something else. What? That should do it, I think.
Flip.
I'm still awake.
Good. Thoughts will be available later.
Really questions from viewers?
Between now and the con, I've got to set up some physical equipment, make sure everything's working, and get that handed off. as you guys are dotting your I's and crossing your T's, if you need any reimbursements, remember that the cutoff date is going to be the postmortem after the convention. If you find that you think on-site at the convention is a good place just to sign up a check, I might be able to do that, or I might be running around with a check with my headset on. Because this happened last year, do not, or I will proud, come to me on-site and say, what was my budget again?
That's a bad question.
We actually have some swords around the corner here.
Thank you.
Are they peacebound?
Not yet.
No.
You know, if you're not sure, you know, you may still need to pick a few things up at the last second. You know, just like I said, dot your I's, cross your T's. I don't care if you're the hotel venue or if you need badge printing equipment for registration. You know, just you know, rather you can't do it on Thursday and Friday. You know, so don't forget about it. The only other thing, there's a few people I need to keep an earjudge for. My Monday and Tuesday after the con is going to be doing the treasury stuff. My Thursday and Friday is going to be helping logistics. Well, my Thursday is going to be helping with logistics. And if you need help in a physical way on site, like you need to go take lunch or something, just talk to me and ask. I might be able to fill in a shift. No promises. But you can always ask. And the last thing that is maybe more for the seniors. After talking with GPS, I think we need to revisit whoever gets their, like on call. If you get something in the mailbox, we need to kind of update the list of names that they need to cross-check. So if ever you've had something, you've had to fill out a form, piece of paperwork, something gets mailed to the GPS, let me know, and I'll start compiling an updated list of people that they need to be aware of. This is Minnesota first.
How much does it help if it says Minnesota prefers for furry migration?
100%.
Okay, but it's the stuff that doesn't that gets us in trouble.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't put the company name. Anything?
Most part, the game runs itself pretty easily.
Yep.
The only thing we're scrambling over is just all the embellishments, all the lessons, and all the organizing for the VR station, all that kind of stuff. But as far as the important stuff goes, we're good to go.
Stuff comes Monday.
So, talking logistics, we're good to go with forever super walls for the back wall. So I can hang shirts on that and then what stuff you're going to provide.
Yep.
Hotel will verify and hand out swag in the pre-function area during registration pickup. So that should help during the con. And technically, I have developers that work with TQ and helper. And again, I need to get one check from you once I actually get the shipping information from Awful Corporation.
So yes.
I still haven't remembered something I was supposed to say. One of the things that's going out is for social media and for website. There's apparently been some side conversation with the various accounts of parking. People have forgotten about the MCTC.
Yeah.
Raising that for, yes.
I actually already had a note in my next one that will hopefully start going out Wednesday to post on parking on the newsletter, or on the newsletter.
The website does have it, it just seems people forgot where it's buried. So
Yeah, we need to
I'll
amplify the message. A lot of the stuff right now, even though we had it from last year, we need to remind people because A, it's been a year, and B, some of these people have never gone here. Right now, I'm getting about an average of 3 messages a day from parents asking about the convention, about things they can do with youth, things that are happening there. And of course, how much does it cost? Because it all comes down to that. So we have a lot of people that are inquiring about this that may have never gone to it, might not even know what furry is because their 12-year-old wants to come there because they saw X, Y, and Z things. So we're getting a lot of young blood. We're getting new blood in this convention. So we need to make sure we put our best hat on and put on a good coat and everything else, not put the raggedy one, but a really good coat, and show our best for the whole community. So some people will be needed for the sponsor bag stuffing. That will be happening. We have, I think that's Monday, or is that Sunday? Yeah, but this is not required for people to be there. This is one of those ones, if you're, contact Mako if you would like to help. Second is I will be talking with our division heads if we need a Thursday staff kickoff or Friday morning. With the way the schedule is going, if everybody feels confident, we may not do one, because we have a lot of change in our schedule and we're having a lot of motion on Thursday night and Friday morning at this point. I'm taking advice on this at this point, because I can see one way it's great to get everybody in a room, get everything. We could talk about what are the last minute changes. And there's the other thing is that we have a lot of moving parts Thursday night and Friday morning at this point. And doing it, the natural thing would be like, oh, we'll do it Thursday morning. How many people are not going to be, or Thursday afternoon? We don't have, I can't guarantee a lot of people are going to be there. So I'm just going to talk with our division heads about this, if that's going to be there. If it is, we'll tell you in Slack. We'll send out emails and do things like that if it is something we're going to do.
When you said help with the bagging, you said Monday, would that be Monday 8 days from now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the holiday. I know. Okay. We'll talk more about this after that. Anyways,
take a big breath before the push.
Take a breath, but take a breath, take a little break when you can. Yes?
The schedule, the sponsor breakfast isn't on there.
That would be nice. We don't have it on the main schedule. The reason why we don't have it on there is because you're going to get a piece of paper that lists the time.
Well, the other reason is that unlike previous years, where we had the room as part of our program rooms, this year we do not.
Okay.
So it did not fit in our schedule for that.
Yeah, I think previous years, well, we actually didn't have it on.
Like last year, it was in special events room. We don't have that room this year. So it's
We don't know what
the same
room.
place as last year. And it'll be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we can get that added to the online.
I think previously we didn't actually have it on the online schedule, not because it was just so that people wouldn't just randomly appear there.
I just wanted to set my schedule for free.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're asking, because it may or may not appear there. We'll talk once we know the date, the room, and everything else. So, any additional questions or thoughts? Yes?
We do have the room for that, by the way.
Okay, we're talking about what?
Okay, it's going to be in Regency.
Same as last.
Yeah, same as last.
So, very predictable. We're good enough. Good news, I didn't bet against you. So, yeah.
Going back to the job stream, I have a friend outside the Furry community who's looking for a job. Would it be right if I post that on Off Topic with it? Or should I wait till later, maybe after the con? To not interfere with people's schedules.
Yeah, you can put it in off topic, that's fine. Okay. Like I said, if things are happening, we know people out there. We're out here to help our friends and family. And if there is potential for helping, getting somebody a job and everything else, that's always a good thing. So, we have a con, less than 2 weeks. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best time of your life. And it's going to be memorable. I promise you, no matter what, it will be memorable. Unless you're so sleep deprived that you're going to be told to go to bed anyways.
In that case, Doc gets sick all the time.
So I'm sure that we're going to still be here for a while. We have the room as long as we need it. But at this point, class dismissed. Yes?
Yeah, it was Friday. It gives its place. Unless we hear anything different. I'd imagine we'll have the GDR by then.